Hey guys, and welcome to Linux for Seniors. Today's video is going to be about Mint 21.2 Cinnamon custom icons. I've been asked, I want to say at least 3 times in the last 6 months about custom icons. Now I do have some current videos, and my older channel used to have some of these also in regards to just standard custom icons. Well, nothing is standard when it comes to custom icons, but instead of doing a complete icon set, a user had asked me about individual icons. You can certainly do that. I had another unkind comment that someone made against the Linux Mint desktop, saying that it was outdated and, well, boring. All right, well, then spice things up. I'm going to show you some of that stuff in this video today. Some of the icons that you can see on the panel are custom. As a matter of fact, 90% of them. You can certainly change themes, and I'll walk you through the whole process. This is not everybody's cup of tea, but if you want to spice up your Cinnamon desktop a little bit, I'll walk you through the whole process. Filming in 1920 by 1080. This looks very nice in 4K, but I thought I'd spare you the smaller icons. So Linux for Seniors. That icon should be floating here the whole time during the video. You can click on that to subscribe if you're not a subscriber. If you already are, thank you and welcome back. 270 videos plus on all kinds of Linux tips and tricks. My channel, I use nothing but open source software to support the community. And more importantly, give you a first-hand of what the desktop looks like. So today I'm going to talk about the Mint icon. That's actually Thor's hammer. The Firefox icon is non-standard, and so is Google Chrome. File Manager Nemo, also different. Games menu, Stormtrooper. Internet icon is different. Sound and video is different, including, So again, a couple of the web browsers been changed. The Software Manager is also different. Looks like a blue marble. All right, so I'm going to start the ball of wax by talking a little bit about desktop themes, and then I'll move into custom icons. So I'm going to right click System Settings and talk about themes. Now I know you can see I have a custom mouse pointer. That's not what this video is about. We're going to be talking about custom icons and how they relate to these themes. So again, 2 users that asked me if they can do individual icon sets. You can certainly do that, and that's actually the easiest, instead of replacing the whole icon set and then spicing up their desktop because they thought they were, well, quote, boring. So anyways, let's talk about spicing things up. The first thing I'm going to do, though, or advocate that you should do also if you're going to do this, is to make a screenshot of where your starting points are on any of this stuff. So I already have a tool in here called the screenshot tool. You can just type in SC in your menu. You can right click and add that to your panel or desktop, or drag the icon here, and then I'll also drag it downstairs. All right, so I'll have something that I can click on. Now I know that screenshot icon and simple screen recorder look the same. Just wanted to let you see the difference. But anyways, this does a screenshot. So what I'm going to do is open that tool. You can put the tool right on top, or you can put it to the side. That's all up to you. I'm going to pull it to the side just to explain the windows. When you do screen, that means wallpaper, this box, everything else on the screen that you see, including panel. When you do window, it's just the active window. The active window in this case is this box. And then selection is draw a box around something and then take the screenshot. This one here is one of my favorites. You can do it with or without the pointer. I normally don't use the pointer, and just take the screenshot. It will never take a picture of itself. So you can literally lay this on top. All right, so this normally defaults, I believe, to pictures, but I'm going to save these on my desktop. Leave the default name alone, and here's my first screenshot. Now, why am I making these? Because I can see where my starting point is, in case I need to go back and make changes. All right, with that said, we can also right-click, create a folder called SCR. So when you create a directory, a folder, directory is the same thing, but you can move these things into your home directory or home folder later. Okay, so I'll toss these over here for right now. But let's leave the screenshot open for a second, then we'll put it in the folder. So Some of these icons that you see already on my panel and on my menu, like the software manager and the file manager Nemo, have already icons. So I'm going to open up the file manager. And I'm going to talk about, well, first of all, our user for today is Bob. He's just a made-up name. I'm going to talk about creating yourself icon folders if you want to do this yourself. So you have a choice, obviously. You can use the system icons to reassign. You can also bring in your own icons where you downloaded those off the internet or wherever you got them from, and you can make your own. Now, I also make icons, so a lot of the tools are out there. One of them is GIMP. GIMP is free. It's like Photoshop or similar. This folder contains a lot of weird icons too, so I like to have a little sense of humor once in a while. So in either case, Bob, or any user for that matter, creates themselves a folder. They download those things off the internet or wherever you get your icons from, or you can make up your own. But once you start using one or more icons out of these kind of folders or directories, leave the folder name alone and leave the position alone. Why is that? Because when you start using icons like this, it needs to have a reference point in your system to know where to locate that icon when you do a reboot, for instance. All right, so with that said, you can start by putting this folder either in your home directory or home folder or in a subfolder or subdirectory. That's all up to you. So mine is called icons, not to be confused with period or dot icons. All right, so there is another folder in here, Control H, that is called dot or period icons. This one right here. All right, this is the mouse pointer that I'm using today. This yellow thing. That's where that one is stored. This folder here, the regular icons folder, Control H, is where my icons are stored. That's it. Now I'm not going to make any more reference to that anymore. So as long as you understand that that's a folder that I'm going to be using these icons. When I change these themes, these icons should remain. And I'll talk about all of these in a minute. But first I'm going to do is change the actual themes. I'll go with a light theme. It doesn't matter what color I pick. I'll pick purple on that one. And some other purple maybe. How's that? And lots of purple, huh? Lavender, whatever color. All right. So the file manager opens the same way, but the icons you can see did not change. This one here is a custom icon. So is the Google Chrome. And yes, it does open Google Chrome. All right, and this is Firefox. So the icon for my software manager, I'll just open this up briefly, is going to be the same. And you can see that, and I'll close that. And Firefox, Games icon, Internet icon, Firefox, and a couple more that I changed. So far, so good? Okay. Now I'm going to put these back. This is where the screenshot comes in handy. So why do I make screenshots? Because take a look at how many options I have just for this part of that video. I have lots of options. You also have other themes you can install. You can also watch my other videos on custom themes. But more importantly, we're going to stick with the standard stuff today. So screenshot time. Let's put this back to where I had it. So applications, I'm looking for mint white dark red. Mint white dark red, that's that one. And mint white blue. I'm just trying to put this back to where I had it. And then Linux Mint. Now this should be identical. All right, so the menu should look exactly the way I started this video. Now I'm going to take this screenshot and throw it in this folder. So that's my first screenshot, and it's a very small image, 38 kilobytes. So my suggestion is whenever you're altering a theme or altering an icon, that you make screenshots. Now that you understand about themes and adding additional themes, let's talk about custom icons. So you saw that no changes were made to these custom icons that I altered, and let's see what they look like normally. So let's start with the mint icon itself. If you can't see that, that's Thor's hammer. Right-click, configure. I'm going to click that. Your standard mint icon looks like this. I'm going to chop out the text, Control X. All right, so I'll close this now. This is the standard Mint icon. I'm using a see-through panel bar, so let me just give you a different perspective. All right, to spice things up a little bit. All right, you can also do the same. You can see right through the icons. I'll go back to that purple, and then I'll turn off that extension because that's another item that you can install. So now you got the standard panel. Okay, so far so good. All right, I'm going to deal with that later. All right, so let's talk about the icon. Right click, configure. So you got the Mint icon. You also have a green one that is in this shape. And you also have another icon in here that I blew over, which is the cinnamon icon. If you want to add the text, you type it in here. I also suggest, if you want space in between the icon and the text, you can click in front of the letter and hit your space bar once or twice, depending on how much space you want. Just remember that every time you put a space in there, it takes a little bit of room away from your panel. A little less real estate, as one will call it. You can also click next to the 2 and put a space in there, and that'll give you a distance between the first icon, whatever you have sitting here, and your text. Okay? And then you also have the icon size depending on your panel height. I'm not going to get into editing panels. I have different videos for that. But more importantly, that's just text, and icon size is 41. All right? So we can also pick silly stuff. I will pick Face Cool Guy here. All right? And then you can also pick your own custom icons. So I'm going to do this one more time. I'm going to click Browse. Click on my home folder because that's where I'm storing these currently, in the icons folder. You can call these folders whatever you want. So again, I brought in these icons. I made some of these icons. You can also download icons off the internet. But if you'd like to make your own, you can also do that. Let's open this up. So I am going to look for Thor's hammer. In my case, I know where that icon is, so I'm just going to type for it. And it's number 2, and I'm going to hit open. Once I see the icon, I assign it. I'll select it. And now that's already changed. And even if I change the themes, this should still remain. So far, so good? Okay, that's just the menu icon. Now I'm going to close this. Now we're going to deal with what's inside the menu. You're going to right-click on this icon and hit Edit Menu. This is your menu editor. Now in here, I want you to be a little bit careful. You can always restore, but more importantly, be careful in here. And I do recommend making screenshots. All right, I'm going to let you take a look at this for a second. And anytime you see an icon in here, if you do not see it on this menu, that means that something is not installed in this submenu. So to give you an example of the Stormtrooper, what does it normally look like? Well, first of all, this is the actual icon. You can see the path where it's coming from. Bob is our made-up user for today, and he has an icons folder. And this one is called clone whatever. But the actual icon that you all have on your system is called Application Games, and it looks like Space Invaders is what I call that. That is what you have right here. Okay. At this point, this is where I would advocate that you make a screenshot. Okay. So you take the screenshot of that. And more importantly, this becomes important to understand if there's command lines, because I don't want you to alter command lines. Okay, so we have a starting point. Now I can go and change the icon to whatever I want, including emojis. So if you want the kissy face guy for your game icon instead of the Stormtrooper, there you go. All right. If the icon is on your panel, you'll need to restart Cinema, because I'm going to do that with the file manager. But I'm going to first return this back to where I had it. So properties, if I wanted the original icon, I would just look for this screenshot and go find that icon called Games. Okay? But I am going to use a custom icon. And I'll use the same one, the Stormtrooper thing, and assign it, and hit OK. So if I had this on my panel, and then of course the icon would have to be refreshed. But if it's in your menu, it should already refresh. Now I'm going to show you something different. So the files or file manager Nemo, you know, your file manager, Nemo. So when you click this icon in accessories, hit the properties box, you'll see Nemo %U on it. I don't want you to alter this command line. Be extremely careful with these. However, I'm going to show you what the regular icon looks like. You can see that this is coming out of Bob's Icons folder. So I'm going to type in files, or file, I should say, which is file manager, and select that. Now again, it all depends on your icon set. Remember, I had it in purple and different colors, so that would represent that also. Let me get rid of this screenshot and throw that in there. So I'm collecting these now. So this is normally what you would see before you alter these. Now why did I make mention of the command line? Because some people like to play, and they inadvertently click in here and start playing. If you do this, you could have some detriment on your system. You could make a severe alteration, let's put it that way. Please try to stay away from command lines unless you know what you're actually editing. If you don't, then stick with the icons only. All right, so stay away from that box, but make a screenshot of this nonetheless. Screenshot it is. Now I can see %U on there and save. Always good to have these. Now I am going to alter the icon. Again, I have a choice with the file manager. I have some system icons. I could pick emojis or anything else in here. And I can also select custom icons. Since I have the luxury of having some extra icons, I can assign them individually. All right, that's been changed. That's been changed, but this has, and a lot of times what happens is this has not. And if that's the case, then you can refresh the screen. I'm going to do that also to Firefox. I'm going to do one of these will not refresh the screen. So we're good to go on this. All right, put that screenshot away. I'm going to go to Internet now. Let's do Firefox. A lot of you folks don't realize that there's extra icons in here, even in your system, that you can change from the standard icon. There's a lavender or purple one and also a brown one in here. So let's see what the standard Firefox icon looks like. I'm just going to type in Firefox. It should have came installed with your system. So I have the standard one that looks like that. It's orange in color. There's also this blue or lavender color here, and then there's the brown one down below. So these are just icons. So I'm going to pick this one and then hit OK. So that changed. However, this did not. But that changed. And that changed. This is what I'm talking about, restarting Cinnamon. So if I didn't make mention of this, restarting Cinnamon does not boot you out of the system. It's not like restarting or logging in and logging out. It's just restarting the interface. And you can do that actually while filming. And I'm going to do this while filming, and I'm not going to edit anything. All right, there are 3 ways to restart Cinnamon. Control, Alt, and Escape. Alt and F2 and small r. Right-click on your panel, troubleshoot, and restart Cinnamon. 2 of those will make my mouse pointer or cursor jump to the center with the words restarting Cinnamon, and 1 will blink out the screen. So I'll perform this one first. And what you're going to see is this will blink, and this will change this Firefox icon to that purple one. So far, so good? Okay, now that icon's been refreshed. I'm still filming and talking to you. I didn't do any edits. Okay? So let me give you another example of under the admin section. So software manager. Do we know what that icon looks like? You should. So another name for that is Mint Install. The Mint Install icon looks like that. All right, so I'm going to select that one and hit OK. If you had it sitting on the panel, you'll need to restart Cinema. But since I had it sitting in here, this is what your standard icon looks like. The green one with the grid on it. All right. And I found that icon in the admin section under Software Manager. Properties. Another name for that is Mint Install. Again, try not to alter these. Screenshot time. Always a good idea. All right, leave it up here until I'm done. Now I'm going to actually alter the icon. So again, I could pick the different ones that are in the system. There's quite a few. Most of these are black and white. You can also pick emojis. So if you wanted Cool Face Guy to be your new Software Manager icon, you can certainly do that. Okay, Software Manager. However, let's change that to something different. I used a custom icon on the LastPass. Same deal here. And I have all kinds of things I can pick from. This time I'm going to use this blue box just to be different. Okay, and hit OK. And then go look for Software Manager. I'll open it for you. So basically all I did was I went in here, sorry. So that's Software Manager. Let me close that now. All I did was alter that. You know, I could also throw that on my panel and do it that way. But if I were to alter the icon, which I'll turn back the same one that I had earlier, if I can find it, which was just called Internet. It doesn't matter what these names are. They're just icons. Okay, that blue marble thing, that's been altered over here, but not here. And what do I need to do? Restart Cinnamon. Here's another way of doing it. Alt and F2, small r, enter. Icon just updated. Okay, put that screenshot away. So there's lots of things we can do. The thing to remember though is as long as you have one item installed in the category, it will display. Example of this would be my games category. If I had nothing installed, I'll just disable these. I'm not uninstalling them, I'm disabling them. The games category is missing. Let me pull this to the side. So what I'm looking for is the Stormtrooper with the category games. It's missing. Why is that? Because none of these are active. You have to have at least one item active for it to display the item in this menu. So if I just activate the card game, this will automatically populate. And now you got the card game. Now I'll turn the rest of them back on. So you could also use this to hide icons if you have any purpose for that. Now you can see they're all back online. So it doesn't matter the category. The sound and video is also not standard. I'm not sure what it looks like. I forgot what it looks like. I think it looks like that one. So anyways, you can do this to any one of these things. Just, I always recommend screenshots, and if it does have a command line, be very careful with them. Some of them do not, as you noticed. But some of them will have command lines. Like Software Manager, for instance. That has a command line. It's called Mint Install. As a matter of fact, when you open up Software Manager, if you haven't noticed this yet, I'll open it here since I have a shortcut to it. If you go to the actual hamburger menu, right here, and hit About, it says Mint Install right here. Another name for that, of course, is Software Manager. All right, so you want to spice things up and not make the interface, as that one subscriber called it, less boring, then you can alter these icons. You can certainly change a lot of the icon sets. But if you're just after 1, 2, or 10 icons, it's actually easier to do it this way. And for the most part, they should remain even if you change themes. Okay, so one thing I didn't change back was this guy here. So let me go fix that. Again, I could use just plain old Firefox for my search criteria. and I get a standard icon, which is this one. This is what you should see on your system. Again, I need to update Cinnamon. So this time I'll use Control, Alt, and Escape, and it'll blink the screen. And then this is now changed. And that's now changed. And this is changed. And now I'll go back to my other icon that I had originally assigned. That was custom. So you can do a lot of this yourself. It's not that hard to do. And it's fairly fast as long as you know how to do it. Okay. I need to restart Cinnamon again. Alt and F2, small r, enter. So that's the new Firefox icon. That's now been updated. So that icon was custom. This icon, that icon. Internet icon is custom. And Firefox and Google Chrome was also custom. Oh yeah, I missed one. Sound and video. And of course the file manager. But again, if you altered the themes, I believe most of them, at least my experience has been that they stay. In other words, they stay after you alter them. But as a recap, once you start using one or more icons out of these kind of folders, leave the folder where it's at and do not rename that. Because once you start using these, the system needs to have a path to find them. And the path in this case, if I open this one more time to let you see this, the path to that Stormtrooper, okay, is right here. It's home, Bob, icons, blah, blah, blah. So if I were to move that folder, this will have no reference to this icon anymore. I'm not sure what you'll get. You may get a blank. So that's why I say be careful after you start using icons not to move these folders. And you can certainly put them in subfolders somewhere. It doesn't have to be icons. You can call it whatever you want. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.